Privyet, salut, from the complicated country of Moldova. And let me say that again for emphasis. We are in Moldova, an independent country. But today, I want to go to a place that claims to be a country, yet nobody recognizes it. A place that definitely does not want to be part of Moldova. A place that is more Russian than Russia itself. I wish to go to Transnistria. A place that literally has Russian soldiers walking around on the streets. I really should not go to this place, but God help me, I am too curious. It's very likely it may genuinely not exist anymore soon because of changing geopolitical circumstances. So, we gotta go right now. Let's do it. Moldovan money. It's very cute. It's like so... feels kind of cheap. But we're in Moldova.
Have a nice trip.
Thank you. Nastya has just kindly ordered a taxi for me because I can't use any of the taxi apps. Hey. Salut. Tiraspol. Нужно паспорт поехать в Тирасполь?
Да.
Окей.
Есть?
Есть.
А сам откуда?
Я в Америке.
Из Америки?
Из Америки. Я говорю плохо по-русски.
Поймем друг друга.
Here we go.
Кому-то к знакомым едешь туда или нет?
У меня нет искомого. So we are on our way now to a breakaway region. Я говорю из камеры. Без проблем. We are on our way now to a breakaway region colloquially known as Transnistria, across the Dniester River. And this region, this is a very unique place. We're gonna need our passport to cross over because it officially claims sovereignty. It claims to be a country, but no one recognizes it, not even Russia. Кишинев, Тираспол, какой лучше?
Кишинев лучше.
Я верю.
Очень много проблем с электричеством, с газом.
Вы думаете, в будущем Молдова и Транснистрия будут вместе?
Надеемся.
Да. Я тоже надеюсь.
Мы же одной крови, как говорится, одни и те же люди, но видишь как. Политика есть политика.
Политика есть политика. Okay. The driver is recommending that I go take a piss. The toilet is right here. We're about to hit the Transnistria border control. And I don't want to go too much into it right now, but I am actually nervous. I really hope I'm not about to regret this decision. I see a cool bus stop right over there. Some remnants of the old Soviet architecture. This is an old bus stop. Of course, if you watch this genre of videos, there's another bald YouTuber who has shown many of these Soviet objects. But wow, look at this view. Such a unique country, Moldova. Just this mixture of collapsing, just this mixture of collapsing Soviet architecture mixed with beautiful vineyards. My bad, I'm not calling them vineyards anymore. It's a mixture of both Romanian and Russian culture. But now we're about to go to a part that firmly rejects the Romanian part. And I hope everything will be alright. Я готов. Ты куришь? Oh, орехи. Спасибо. Got some walnuts. The kindness of Moldova. Unexpected kindness. I don't even know how to eat a walnut. Coming up on the border right now. Here we go. Crossing the Dniester River right now. That is what actually marks the boundary between the two places. Marks the boundary of the breakaway region. So after this, we are now in a country not recognized by anyone. And we still have to go through border control. Which is coming up right there, and I gotta turn this off. Alright, and we're through. Нет.
А ты говоришь?
Да, я говорю с камерой. Без проблем. Все нормально, да? Okay. So we are now in the breakaway region of Transnistria, Pridnestrovie, and that was intimidating, but a little less intimidating than I thought. There were literal Russian soldiers on the border. However, I think they're actually recruited from the local population. And when you come in, you're given a little piece of paper, a little slip. The passport isn't actually stamped. But this says that I have to be out of the country within 24 hours. I think that's because I just told them I would be here for max 1 day. So, but they were friendly. There was a lady at the passport desk. She was very nice. Okay. Спасибо.
Все.
Bye-bye. Slava Moldova.
Давай.
Sometimes I make decisions that are very questionable. Like this one right here. I'm about to stay in a hotel literally called, wait for it, the Russia Hotel. Oh, Tommy, what are you doing? Doesn't seem to be anybody working at the Russia Hotel. I hear someone. Someone's coming. Oh, it's not the Russian police. Hi, привет. Я хочу одна ночь здесь.
Одна ночь здесь? У вас резервация есть?
У меня нет.
Я сейчас посмотрю, что есть.
Окей.
Вы будете сам?
Some. Okay, so I just encountered one of the problems I've heard about this place, especially during the Ukraine war. They really don't like cameras. Also, they just told me that they do not accept credit cards at the hotel. They do not accept the Moldovan currency, the lei. I have to exchange at this place right here and get some of the local currency. I'm not even sure what that's called. Here we are in the Russia Hotel. This hotel cost about, I think it was about $70. I had to exchange all of my Moldovan money and then exchange all of my, interestingly, Ukrainian money, plus some dollars and euros, to pay in cash. They did not accept credit cards. This is the only hotel I could find in the city, so this is what we're rolling with. Doesn't look too bad. I am a little nervous about filming in this place. But we're gonna do it. Let us go and explore Tiraspol. Alright, so this is the kind of stuff you come into Transnistria to see. The extreme Russianness. It's like you've just crossed into Russia from Moldova. Even though the border of Ukraine is literally just a couple of miles, a couple of kilometers from here. Absolutely bizarre place. It's about 6 o'clock at night. Got maybe an hour of daylight. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, look at this thing that's about to pass by. That is an old tram right there. As you can see by the Russian flags proudly displayed all over the city, this place makes no secret of how we would actually like to just rejoin Russia. We'd like to remake the Soviet Union. It doesn't want to be an independent country. You Seems to be like the central square of Tiraspol. First impressions, it looks like they might be outdoing the one in Chisinau. Not that there's a competition. The sign says 233 Tiraspol. As I'm recording this, I don't know what the 233 is for, but I'm going to put that on the screen right here when I go home and research it. I'm also going to put the name of whoever this guy is. But of course, here is a statue of Vladimir Ilyich Lenin. But here in Tiraspol, in Transnistria, this bizarre breakaway region inside of Moldova, it's like a time machine. It's like you go back in time to the old Soviet system. Not quite, I mean, it's capitalist now. But more strikingly for me, it's like going back to Russia, and that does not give me a happy feeling. Of course, don't get me wrong, I still have love for the Russian people. I traveled all across Russia and I received basically nothing but affection from everywhere I went. I say this as I'm about to walk into a restaurant literally called Back to the USSR. My feelings, as you can imagine, are a bit more complicated now. Is that your coat?
No,
It's from the restaurant? That's sick. Fitting in well. What's that? Oh, this means 135.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe drinks.
Yeah, maybe, what do you recommend?
Local beer.
Local beer? What's the local beer?
Name?
Yeah.
Old Fortress.
Old Fortress? Okay, one Old Fortress. And the chicken Kiev.
So one light beer, one chicken Kiev, and potato, one pelmeni, still water.
Speak good English. I wasn't expecting anybody here to speak English, to be honest with you. I don't know how to feel about all this. I have no nostalgia for the Soviet Union. I didn't grow up in the Soviet Union. I didn't even get to experience the Soviet Union before the Russian war in Ukraine, so. This is apparently Soviet, and they told me this is an aperitif. Man, how do I put this? You know, it's like last year when I went to Belarus, when I went to Russia for the first time, and I saw all these signs of the Soviet past. You know, at the time I thought it was cool, I thought it was kitsch, I thought it was, you know, retro. How can you not like it? You know, it's different. But, you know, after being put in jail in Russia and being bombed in Ukraine, all in pursuit of an ideology, this ideology, the Soviet ideology, in pursuit of rebuilding this. I don't know. This shit isn't so cute anymore. But I'm pretty sure this is gonna be good. Ordered a chicken Kiev. subtle act of rebellion. It's because of the Russian government that Moldova was poor for so long, that they're still objectively poor compared to the rest of Europe, although they're obviously getting better, as we saw. It's because the Russian government kept propping up corrupt politicians that were loyal to Moscow. And you know, listen, it's not like the EU is some perfect organization. I did basically make a hate video about Brussels. But it can also be a huge benefit to a country's economy. Just look at Poland, Hungary. It's just, you know, you have to, like, I guess, ignore some of the policies, take the other ones. And both Moldova and Transnistria were blocked from doing that. But maybe that's going to change soon. The check. How much is it? 258 Pridnestrovie rubles. I think that's what the currency is called, but no idea of the exchange rate. Apparently that's about $15. 2 mains, dessert, a beer, lively Soviet atmosphere, all for $15. Okay, so that was that. That was not bad, actually. I gotta really be careful with my money here. I didn't know this before coming, but this place is actually under sanctions, just like Russia. None of my Western bank cards are working. I just realized there's literally a caviar machine in my hotel. I can't remember what the prices are, but I don't think that's too bad. I think this is like the fanciest hotel in the whole city. The Russia Hotel. $70 a night to stay in the fanciest hotel. Great, half the lights don't work at my room here in the most expensive hotel in Transnistria. Want to see the TV? Look at the TV. Look at the cute little TV. You're in the most expensive hotel in Transnistria. That is a classic. That is definitely from the Soviet Union. I don't know if I'm an idiot or I just don't understand how this TV works, but this is one case where I feel like maybe the TV just doesn't work right. Oh, all right. Well, it's a bit weird to be back in Russia. Kind of. This kind of counts as Russia. They want to be Russia. It's almost PTSD inducing. But, you know, going to sleep in Russia. The last time I went to sleep in Russia, that was not a good night. But there's a world of difference between sleeping in a prison in far eastern Siberia and the most expensive hotel room in Transnistria, which is this right here. Even if half the electronics don't work. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay. I figured out how to turn on one of the other lights. Now how do I turn all the other lights off? There we go. So the war in Ukraine continues, and the US is still deciding if it should send weapons to Ukraine or not. On the one hand, you've got Donald Trump saying that Ukraine is gone, all because Zelensky refused to make a deal with Putin, as reported by the government of Russia. And on the other hand, you have Kiev warning that the surrender of Ukraine would actually cause the West to collapse. Those weapons aren't just for Ukraine, but all of Europe. It feels like all of this is being driven by someone with a narrative that they want you to believe. The problem is, people tend to only read the first article they come across, missing out on the bigger picture. And that's why I'm happy to share with you, as always, today's sponsor, Ground News. Their app and website really help you sort out the truth. Where you get your news from heavily influences your worldview. But Ground News gathers the world's news, including from the US, the EU, Ukraine, and even Russia and China. so that we can understand complicated issues from every perspective. The main news sources in America and Europe are becoming more and more biased. You need a tool to help you think for yourself, and Ground News is the best choice for that. I highly recommend them so that you can have more informed conversations on the issues deeply dividing society. Go to ground.news/sab or scan my QR code so that they know that I sent you. My wonderful viewers will save a massive 50% off the same vintage plan that I use myself and get access to all of their features. As always, I only work with brands that I actually respect, and so by supporting them, you support my crazy trips in return. So thanks. Now let's get back to the video. There's a lot of things not working in this hotel. All right, good morning, Dobre Utra. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna go around a bit, maybe talk to some of the locals. Gonna try to explain the history of this region, why and how it came to be such a weird place. Such a weird place. And we're gonna try not to get detained while doing that, because this place is basically Russia. And there's soldiers walking around. Why do I do this? All right, let's go. All right, setting up the taxi. Well, let's hope for the best.
So bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Nice to meet you. Come again to our
Very nice to meet you too.
Bye.
Yeah. I will probably never come back here. Well, I mean, that's not true. If the situation changes and I don't have to fear for my life every time I come here, then I'll come back. About to go on a bender. We're going to the only town that this place controls over the Dniester River. It's called Bender. And interestingly, I haven't actually had a Wi-Fi signal the entire time that I've been here. You can't use like a Moldovan eSIM here. But as we're getting closer to the river, my signal is coming back. Okay, let's see that. Okay. I'm not sure how much that taxi cost, but I think I have something like 20 bucks left, and I can't take out any more money here. So we're gonna have to wrap up this trip pretty soon. Welcome to the town of Bender. And this is apparently the Bender Fortress. Let the Bender begin. All right, so this is apparently a fortress that was originally built by the Ottomans. Then the Russians took it over, and I can't show you it because I can't afford it. I don't have enough money. Just can't take out any more money. It's like old times. It's like being a backpacker again. It's like being in Africa the first months of my channel. So the Ottoman Empire expanded as far as here into Moldova. It's another place they took over. And you'll find there's some recurring themes in this region. You had the Ottomans, places like here and Hungary and Romania. Then you had the Russian Empire come in, take it over from the Turks. Then you had the Soviets come in. And then you had modern history after the fall of the Soviet Union. And it's been a bit of a mess since then. But there's a big reason why this region came to be. There's a big reason why this region specifically in Moldova was claimed by the Russians, tacitly. They don't officially recognize it, but... So after the fall of the Soviet Union, the major reason why the Russians stepped in to defend this area and help it break away into its own separate republic is because there was a large arms depot here, Soviet weapons left over. And they didn't want this just falling into the hands of the Moldovans, who were probably going to go and just join Romania or something. And so, because this was the one part of Moldova that was majority Russian or Russian speaking, they didn't want to be part of a new independent Moldova. They wanted to stay part of the Soviet Union. And a war broke out because of that. Long before the Ukraine War, there was the Moldovan War. At first, it was just a war between the Moldovans and the Pridnestrovians, as the locals here call themselves. And at first it was pretty even. The Moldovans might have even won. But because the Russians still had a military base here, they stepped in and they supported the Pridnestrovians. They tipped the balance. And thus, this breakaway region was born. And the Russians have been here ever since. I will say, I do keep it real. People here are very polite. Here's a monument. This monument is called the Monument to Russian Glory. Nothing to do with the Soviet Union. It's more about beating the Turks. Don't know why that guy just honked at me there. Jesus. I just realized, like, right across from that fortress, and to my right here, is some kind of Russian military base or military depot. I gotta get out of here. Извините, есть Coca-Cola?
Нет.
Нету?
У нас в городе нету. В Pridnestrovie нет вообще.
Okay, it's как Россия. Okay.
Pepsi-Cola только есть.
Pepsi, yes. Okay. So just like Russia, you have a similar product selection. A lot of big Western brands are not here, like Coca-Cola, McDonald's. Oh. Это большой.
А, маленькая?
Yeah.
Вот, есть вот.
Okay. 16. Не понимаю, деньги здесь.
Вот 50.
Окей. Это да? Окей. Как жизнь здесь? Хорошая?
По-разному.
Окей. Больше, меньше. Окей. Спасибо. That is life, and I'm running out of money. I gotta be really careful with my money. What can we do with about $18? Well, I mean, things can't be that expensive here. Here's a sign for a little tourist agency, like a local tourist agency, and these are a list of countries that they'll take you to very prominently. You can go to Russia, but they have like Western Europe here. The people here are naturally a little more connected to the West than people in Russia proper. Have you noticed which country is not on that list? It's a big neighbor missing. Starts with a U. Oh man, look at all these like super old Russian buses. Trams? Are these trams? These are trams. These are some classics right here. This is the life you can find here in Transnistria. Why is there a 6-year-old singing on the street here? So I don't know, this might be the center of Bender here. We're right in the middle of the Bender. We're going through it. There are some signs announcing something that happened on October 8th. I don't know if that's referring to the war that Transnistria won against Moldova. Sberbank is like the Russian bank. I never thought I'd see that again. I should have brought my Sberbank card. I think I left that shit back in America. Didn't think I'd ever get a chance to use it again. I left like $500 in that bank account. Yep. Only Russian bank cards are gonna work here. No international cards. Okay, so this town actually isn't that bad. It's pretty peaceful, a little boring, but it's nice, it's clean. It's just, I've noticed there's a lot of guys walking the streets in literal Russian military uniforms. They're probably locals that were recruited for the Russian military and they just serve here, but most of the people here, a lot of them, hold dual citizenship. So that doesn't make a difference. Anyway, given my track record, it's really freaking me out, and I've heard there's like secret police walking around all the cities in Transnistria, so we're gonna get out of here pretty soon. Here, but of course, there's another statue of Lenin. Mr. Lenin. It might be the last Lenin statue we see for a while. I do have to admit though, this is kind of cool. This, apparently right over here, is a movie theater. Let's go check it out. Это кинотеатр?
Кинотеатр.
Очень красивый.
Спасибо.
Just for laser tag, I just see a bunch of people with guns in their hands. I'm very confused here. This just says work. And then you have the Israeli flag and the German flag. Wow. I'm really not trying to pull a bald and bankrupt here, but this is some beautiful classic Soviet architecture right here. Or should we say classic imperialist invading architecture. Что пароль Wi-Fi?
Cinema найдите. Cinema. А как подключить?
Интернет.
Интернет. Вот завела пароль.
Очень трудный пароль.
Подключилась?
Сейчас, подожди.
Все?
Спасибо большое.
Пожалуйста.
У меня нет Wi-Fi в Приднестровье. Я иностранец.
Я поняла. Садитесь и себе отдыхайте.
Окей, спасибо. Это кинотеатр.
Да.
Очень старый.
В 1954 году построен. 1954.
О, вау.
Старый.
Очень старый. Очень старый. Спасибо. Okay. Here's Bruce Willis. He has no idea that he's being used to promote a movie theater in a Russian breakaway region. I don't think he has any idea of anything, actually. Sorry. Messed up joke. Alright, so those nice ladies gave me some Wi-Fi. Figure out the sights to see in Bender. Or maybe just a way to get out of here, because I'm starting to get a little paranoid. The people are nice, as you see, but in Russia, it wasn't the people that put me in jail. And of course, Transnistria has the same old Soviet buildings, the Soviet commie blocks. It just, I mean, I guess it's like very similar to Moldova, but it feels a little more organized here. I do have to admit, everything is very clean and proper walking around. This place is obviously a gold mine of Soviet history. There's a direct link between this place and the Soviet Union. It effectively never left. I mean, it did, but in spirit. There's another crazy thing down there. I'm kind of curious to see if this train station is like still operational in any way. Where would the trains even go? If you look at a map, Transnistria is ridiculously thin. Long and thin. As I call my, no. Sorry, this is supposed to be a serious video. Here's another Soviet sculpture. But yeah, my point was, where's the train from here gonna go? You could travel just literally like 10 kilometers in that direction and you're at the border with Ukraine. And obviously, that border is now closed because this place wants to hold on to this. Ты знаешь, эта станица закрыта?
Да, закрыто вроде.
Окей. Поезд нету?
Yeah.
Okay, спасибо. There you go. Abandoned train station. Wild stuff. Now you can tell by the infrastructure that this was operational not too long ago, but with the Ukraine war, where are they going to ship goods to? That's the funny thing about this region. It's loyal to Russia, but Russia can barely do anything for this place. That's why they don't recognize it. If it's cut off from Ukraine, they can't basically transport anything here. They can't even transport troops. Russian military literally has to come in here on a tourist visa and sneak in. The Ukraine war has had a massive impact on this place. In fact, just at the beginning of this year, Ukraine cut off the transport of gas from Russia to Transnistria. There used to be a pipeline. The Ukrainians turned off the tap, and that's put massive economic pressure on this place. Russia is basically just sending money here out of charity now. And that's ironic, because when Transnistria declared its independence, they took with them a lot of the heavy industry, the factories that used to be in Moldova. They took all the productive land, at least for manufacturing. So they were economically stronger for a while, but that has changed. And is that a Lenin statue head? Just a little Lenin head statue hanging out in the back of this building. Are they about to throw it away or like what? Only in Transnistria. Only in Transnistria. The park still look nice though. A lot of stray dogs here in Transnistria. I dare say more stray dogs than I saw in Moldova, but maybe my memory's faulty.
Спасибо. Дай Бог здоровья.
Ситуация здесь трудная?
Тяжело, очень тяжело.
Okay.
Еще болею сильно. Учиться надо. Спасибо. Дай Бог здоровья.
Okay.
Здоровья.
Bye-bye. Пока. See some weird stuff out here. 6-year-olds singing on the street. Old ladies asking for money in the park. All right, I've got to find a taxi to get out of here. I'm almost out of money. I hope they accept Moldovan lei that I can take out in Moldova. Otherwise, I don't think I can afford it. I get really worried every time I see somebody staring at me here, even though it's probably nothing. But I mean, it's kind of funny, you know, like Moldova has the reputation of being the poorest country in Europe. You come to Transnistria and you're forced to live that experience. You're forced to have no money. So this is kind of wild. I stopped into this hotel to find somebody that could call a taxi for me. And as that nice lady was helping me, I glanced over to my left and I noticed that the guy at the checkout counter was wearing a Russian military uniform. What the fuck? There's some kind of, I don't know what's going on with the hotels here, but they don't want people filming here. I think, like, I guess the Russian military stays here while they're here.
Куда надо ехать?
Chisinau.
Chisinau.
It's kind of weird since we're already on the other side of the Dniester River, the Moldovan side. I don't really know where the border is. Like, I look on Google Maps and there's a road. It just leads into farmland. I guess we'll see if I can cross that. Oh, just a few minutes later. We're coming up on it right now. Just handed over my passport. Без проблем?
Без проблем.
Окей. Спасибо. Твой паспорт это русский или молдовский?
Приднестровский.
Приднестровский.
О.
Спасибо. Here we have a Transnistrian passport. Look at how Soviet it is. But there's no stamps at all. Спасибо.
Вот техпаспорт на авто.
Okay. Это... He's just showing me his whole life right now. This is his ID card.
А то?
Так, это паспорт не можно...
Это паспорт автомобиль.
Не можно поехать в Румынии, Европе. Only Moldova.
Pridnestrovie and Moldova.
Okay, wow. Интересная ситуация. So, we just passed the kind of Moldovan checkpoint, but there's no passport check here. From their perspective, we were always in Moldova.
1 hour and we one place.
All right.
1 hour.
Отлично. Как думаешь, Pridnestrovie это Россия, это Молдова, это только Pridnestrovie?
Это я бы хотел,
Yeah.
I want, Pridnestrovie will be Moldova.
Вау.
Так.
Окей. Я тоже думаю.
Потому что
Я тоже надеюсь.
Молдова, оно рядом, все. У нас люди с Приднестровья
Да.
ездят на работу to work in Moldova. Because in Moldova
More money.
more money.
Больше деньги.
Да, да.
Yeah. Look at that, Moldova.
А Россия где-то далеко.
Да. Правда, это правда. How times have changed. People want to go to Moldova to make money. Okay, спасибо.
Пожалуйста.
Yeah.
Day.
Bye-bye. All right. Slava Moldova. We're back in Chisinau, which is still very Soviet looking itself. Good morning again from Chisinau, and I stopped by like this little hostel right here. Everyone here is from Ukraine or Russia. Is this a pool? Can you go swimming here?
No, I think it was like something like fountain, but it's not working. And they turn it on sometimes, but
Okay.
it's getting more wet and cold.
Well, this place does cost like, what, $8 a night? So Sergey here, he's only 22 years old. He left Ukraine because there's a new law that allows young Ukrainian men to leave the country if they so choose. It's a difficult decision that a lot of people have to make. Why did you leave Ukraine?
For me, 22 years, yes, and I don't like.
You don't want to go to war and kill people that kill.
That's fair.
I came here for making a citizenship here because my mom was born here.
Okay.
I'm Russian and I need some other passport because it's more comfortable for now.
It's like Nus Ruski, Nus Moldovi. And so you are Ukrainian, you are Russian, no problem? Без problem? It's good. If only everyone could just meet in a hostel in Moldova.
I'm worried about what's going on for now with the Russians in Russia, about human rights in Russia, because like we start to lose our rights even before war. Of course, like I felt guilty for a long time. Like I had when war started, I was shocked for a long period of time and felt guilty for what's happened.
So literally almost everyone staying in that hostel is either Ukrainian or Russian, mostly Ukrainian. There were several Ukrainian guys in there that actually didn't want to talk on camera. Understandably, maybe not understandably, because some of them are literal draft dodgers. In every war, you have some of those, but... All right, good morning from Chisinau. And before we leave the country, what I thought we could do, since this used to be the capital of the Moldovan Socialist Republic. Almost got trouble on the bus. I'm not sure how Soviet they still are in Moldova. Very weary of authority. Wait, did that guy make me pay twice? Or did I pay twice out of my own stupidity? That's possible too. In any case, it only costs 35 cents to ride the bus here in Moldova, so I think I'll live with it. Here in Moldova, you can also still find plenty of signs of the old Soviet Union, but unlike Transnistria, you have to keep a watchful eye out for them. You have to know what to look for. This, just by its grandiosity, you can tell was built during the Soviet Union in the 1980s, I believe. And then right across the street over here, there's something even better. This very grand looking building, I think it's like 4 buildings in one. It's This used to be the head of the Moldovan SSR. When the Soviet Union was here, this was the headquarters of the region. Crazy design. Kind of looks like the headquarters of the Mormon church or something, but that's wild. Nowadays, this place is called the Presidential Palace of Moldova. Things are so much more relaxed that I can walk right up to the front door, I think. All right, can't go inside, but you can walk up to the front door of the Presidential Palace of Moldova. Historically, the lands of modern-day Moldova had much more connection to Romania. That's why the people here speak Romanian, for the most part. The Russians had almost no connection to Moldova until 1812. That's when the Russian Empire came in, and at that point, this area was controlled by the Ottoman Empire, the Turks. It was the war, the Russian-Turkish War. The Russians won, they took it over, they called the region Bessarabia, and the rest is history. They started moving in Russians, Ukrainians. They needed to cement their control over the region. And you'll notice many of the same practices have happened throughout modern Russia's history. It wasn't just the Soviet Union that was moving people around to different territories to make them more Russian. That started with the Russian Empire, with the Tsars. During the Soviet period, the Soviets emphasized a Moldovan identity over a Romanian one. They even changed the name of the language from Romanian to Moldovan, and they had to start writing it in Cyrillic instead of the Latin alphabet. Спасибо. Это все. All right, so we are at the border with Romania now. We've reached the other river that marks the border of Moldova. We're in a town called Ogeni. And apparently there's a train that leaves once a day at this time that will take me to Romania. Gotta walk up these stairs to get to the station. You cannot take a taxi straight up to the station. Well, look at that train. This is the most confusing train station I've ever seen. Where the hell is the entrance? Where do I buy a ticket? Ooh, that is a cool looking classic train right there though. I hope that's my train. Okay, finally found the entrance. Buonasera. Un bilet la Iași?
Poftim?
Un bilet la Iași?
Da, acuș.
Okay. Trying to bust out the Romanian here. Carta?
No.
No. Oh, cash?
Cash.
Oh, no. Okay. The Transnistrians cleaned out all my cash. Dollar? Yes, bankomat?
No.
Online? Internet? Могу купить?
Ну, уже поздно ты по интернету.
Так, недостаточно времени. Да? Angela! Well, this is a last-minute crisis here on the border. There's only one train per day, and I got no more Moldovan lei to pay this lady for the ticket. You would think this right here could solve all problems, but no. У меня нет молдовских лей.
Что у вас есть? Доллары или
Доллар.
евро? Евро нету?
Евро нет. Румынский?
Сейчас я посмотрю, сколько здесь минут.
Okay, so the kind train station old ladies are apparently going off to find someone that can exchange Moldovan lei for dollars. Fun fact, by the way, in a lot of the ATMs in Chisinau, you can actually take out dollars and euros, which is why I thought that might work here, but it's turning into a big deal. It's only like 20 minutes until the train leaves. I mean, it's pretty wild that they don't have an ATM at this station, but it was clearly built during the Soviet Union. Like, it's really nice looking, but not functional. I guess it's also my fault for not taking out more Moldovan money before. Could have done that. But, you know, I was worried I wouldn't be able to exchange it once I left this country. Patiently waiting for the kind babushka lady to come back. Somebody that could exchange my dollars. I never would have expected that the border drama was going to be here. I would have thought it would have been at the other river, with Transnistria.
Что-то это много денег. Что вы будете делать?
Это...
Нет, давайте румынские, 60 румынских, я вам дам.
Румынские? Окей.
60 лей.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do it with the Romanian money.
60 лей румынских.
60 лей. Спасибо большое. The humility. No praise needed. Окей, я готов.
Да?
Наконец.
Наконец,
Да.
Хорошо. Сейчас.
We're going to Romania. Apparently Joseph Tito was at this station in 1956. Who knew? Joseph Tito был здесь?
No, parle.
Молдовский.
Да, молдавский.
Президент. Serbia.
Сербия.
Югославия.
Acolo el?
Да, окей, интересно.
Ты откуда?
Я Америка.
Америка.
Yeah.
Гости?
Гости.
Гости. А вы откуда?
Нью-Йорк.
Нью-Йорк.
Yeah. Oh.
Как тебе нравится наша Молдова?
Мне нравится.
Нравится?
Больше. Друзья?
No.
Почему?
Просто.
Okay, просто. I'm starting to beef here. So I got my ticket now. And I was asking if there's any lockers, and she said I could just leave my stuff right with her. Okay.
21:35 он отправляется. Вы должны быть здесь где-то 21:20.
Okay. 21:20. Okay. Вокзал очень красивый.
Да?
Making progress. We'll get the train to Romania. I make that sound so epic. We've already been to Romania, technically, but I didn't show you on camera. Last time we went there on a boat, crossing the Danube, after going to Odessa in Ukraine. That was cool. Moldovan Soviet urinals. How do you pee in these? The answer is, you don't pee. Urinal pees on you in Soviet Russia. This is what we're working with. Now, if you're wondering, why didn't I just take a train directly from Chisinau? There's like one train a day going in this direction. Missed it. I was in the morning. But interestingly, the train that I'm about to get on is actually coming all the way from Kiev in Ukraine. And then it goes to Iași in Romania. That's pretty wild. So this is where we are. We are in the town of Ungeni, which is the 5th biggest town in Moldova. Really hitting you with the fun facts here. And we will cross the border into the Romanian city of Iași. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Iași. One of the biggest cities in Romania. Haven't been there. So first we have to go through Moldovan customs. Yeah, this is a real classic right here. Is this? Okay. Stuck me in the last cabin. Passport? Da. The border with Romania is the Prut River. There are two rivers that define Moldova. The Prut and the Dniester. Am I saying that correctly? The Dniester. Interestingly, it was actually Joseph Stalin that decided to add on a tiny little extra strip of land past the Dniester that coincidentally had a lot of Russians and Ukrainians, just to balance out the demographics a bit in the Moldovan SSR. And of course, that later became Transnistria, the fun place we went to yesterday. And away we go. Probably gonna be my last time in a Russian-speaking nation for a while. I always have a good time though. America, yeah. America. Guess they don't meet many Americans around here. Alright, just got stamped through right here on the train. Romanian customs just rolled through. And we are now in Romania. Legally in Romania. Okay. Spasibo. And that's it. We have left the Slavic world and entered the Latin world. That's it. We have entered Romania for the second time. I'm pretty damn tired. Maybe I'll make a video of Romania this time. See you in the next one.